Portable TV. Come watch with me. Despite threats of U.S. sanctions, Russian energy giant Gazprom completed its latest segment of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline in German waters. Now, this puts them one step closer to bringing nat gas to the German people, whose increasing need prompted this deal to begin with. Joining us to discuss it, former UK MP George Galloway is here. So, George, at present, Germany receives fossil fuels through the EU and pipelines that come through Norway. What's wrong with Germany seeking to broker a cheaper deal with the Russians? Why does the U.S. want to block this deal?
It's very strange. Germany is a loyal ally of the United States and yet has had all kinds of problems with the current administration in being able to exercise its national sovereignty, its national rights to secure stable and cheap gas from Russia. And that's nobody else's business, really, other than Germany and Russia. But the Trump administration, and in particular, Mike Pompeo, never saw it that way. And Pompeo, like a bull in a china shop, was all over Europe, knocking things over, making threats, browbeating, bullying people to try and stop this. But as you put it in your introduction, inch by inch, we're almost there. And I've got to tell you, I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but the very thought of not being able to count on a stable, secure, and reliable and cheap source of energy through winters like this one feels like it's going to be, leaves me, if you'll forgive the pun, absolutely cold.
Now, George, the Germans are obviously the largest energy consumer in Europe and actually 7th in the world. I've got some statistics here. 97% of Germany's natural gas is actually imported. The EU has several anti-monopoly laws which are applicable here in this deal, hence why Denmark blocked Nord Stream 2 repeatedly from going through their territorial waters. Is this an indicator to you of a fractioning relationship then between Germany and the EU? Any chance we might see a German exit from the Union in the future?
I don't think so. Germany really rules the European Union. The German-French axis, now that Britain has left, is in unchallengeable power inside the European Union. They are easily the biggest economies. They have the strongest political leaderships and the most stable political systems. So I don't think so. As a matter of fact, the EU is now entirely under the hegemony of Germany, easily the biggest economy in Europe, and it will go its own way, even inside the European Union, should people try to get in their way. The Germans, Angela Merkel, have stood up rather bravely to the Trump administration, and they're not going to allow, how shall I put it, slightly smaller dogs inside the European Union to get in their way now.
Now, George, as you mentioned, it's pretty cold where you are. Since we're talking about where you stand, now that we are just days away from Brexit, finally, George, after we've talked about this, I feel like for an eternity, does Nord Stream 2 impact the UK's access to LNG, that is liquefied natural gas? Does that impact the imports in any way to where you are?
No, we'll still be doing business and open for business with everybody from now on. And I hope that we will be at least as bold in standing up to other people's pressure as Angela Merkel has. Tomorrow, the deal is being voted on in the House of Commons, Manila. You and I have spoken about this interminably, but tomorrow it really is the end. If the agreement that has been made between Boris Johnson and the European Union passes the House tomorrow, then we will be leaving, of course, on January 1. We always were going to be, but we'll have a free trade agreement with the European Union, which is, if not perfect, at least satisfactory enough for both sides to sign it.
And real briefly, George, it boggles my mind as to why the U.S. wants to block this deal, because the U.S. doesn't really send natural gas to Germany in any way. Any reason off the top of your head why they might, it seems like, collude with the European side to block this Russian deal?
Well, they were very much hoping to, how shall I say, persuade the Europeans to take American energy instead. But that doesn't make any sense, neither financial nor environmental, to bring gas all the way thousands of miles across the Atlantic when Russia, which borders Germany, can supply it in abundance. And Russia can guarantee that it never interrupts energy supplies, even under severe provocation, like provocation from the Ukraine, for example. They never failed to fulfill their obligations and carry out their contracts. So it was a no-brainer, really, Manila, from the beginning. It doesn't make any sense to accept the offers of the United States when the Russian offer was better in every particular.
Yeah, George, that's capitalism. Why can't they just accept that? I will leave it there. George,
Exactly.
George Galloway, good to see you, my friend. Thank you.